Camera's rolling.
Oh, hello, kids.
Hello, fellow home cinema lovers.
Not creepy at all.
That's creepy. Right, well, thank you for tuning in to the first of 26 videos of the A to Z of AV. Starting today with A is for AV, or at least it's for audio in AV. A isn't really for AV, is it?
What is AV?
Well, that's what we're going to tell you. Ha
Camera 1, camera
No
2.
way of telling you our favour. So, Michael, tell me, the A in AV, what does it stand for?
Audio.
Audio. And the V stands for visual or video, but we're not going to concentrate on that too much today. Although we will concentrate on everything AV, so audio and video / visual. So whilst Michael's CD is skipping, we're going to explain what we as a company, as Command AV, do. So we cover everything from home cinemas, media rooms, better Wi-Fi first and foremost, home automation, control systems, security, CCTV,
Door entry, lighting control,
intercom, lighting control,
AC control,
heating control,
toilet flush control. It's a dream of mine to do toilet control. That's a weird dream. So yeah, we within audio there are multiple aspects from our perspective. So we do multi-room audio. Oh yeah. So speakers, headphones. Yeah. We do multi-room audio. So that's, say your house has got 20 rooms in it, and you want audio in 7 of them, and you want sometimes you want the same thing in playing in many rooms, or you want different things playing in different rooms. So yeah, we usually go for a standard in-ceiling speaker everywhere except for a dedicated listening room where you'd have
decent floor standing speakers.
Yeah, better speakers in there, and it all comes from a central hub where you would have all of your sources plugged into audio distribution. From there, it would go into amplification, and then the amplifiers would run long cables out to each room where the speakers are installed. And that's what these videos are all about, really. We're trying to make what we do sound really easy, so we do ourselves out of a job.
No, that's not what we're trying to do. Part of the reason behind creating this kind of video, so that everyone gains a better understanding of what it is that we do, is so that when we do come into a house, because 99% of our work are in other people's homes, they want to know, or they need to know what we are doing, what we're getting up to. Anyway, we digress. A is for AV, but more importantly, it's for audio. As far as AV goes, it would be nice to be able to say that audio makes up 50% of the AV industry. That's quite simply not true. It's more like 20%, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very little compared to when you compare it to all the other aspects of our job. Audio, it may make one of the biggest impacts on the home, but in terms of the size of the workload, it's really, really small in comparison to the video. We've got control processing, you've got your touch panels around the house, you have lighting keypads. It's like 20% of the job, like you say.
Audio is not limited to just the speakers we install. There's always the amplifiers, and then there are invisible speakers, people who don't want to see speakers, because I love the look of a good speaker.
I love speakers.
There's nothing better than a big, meaty amplifier. I think what makes up the majority of audio in an AV system is actually the cabling.
Yeah.
The cabling takes more time to do, whether it's the infrastructure cabling from the equipment to the rest of the house, or whether it's the cabling at the equipment rack itself, from the patch panel on the wall, through a tail into the rack to the amplifier. You know, that takes up a significant chunk, just to be able to say, right, Radio X play in that room over there.
From the source, you have a line level signal that runs over a short cable, usually within the rack, how we do it, into audio distribution, which will basically take in multiple sources and an output to multiple amplifiers, and the amplifier is paired to a set of speakers that are wherever, in whatever room. And then from a control perspective, you want to be able to push a button which then switches the source through, no, which switches the source.
Do we need a diagram?
Yeah, we need a diagram.
David.
We're going to do a diagram.
Whoopah. Blank slate. So we start with, let's go 3 sources, yeah?
Yeah.
Ketchup, barbecue and mayo? Yeah. Anyway, so Sonos, Sky and...
Blu-ray.
Yeah, Blu-ray, this is good.
This is a good one because that usually has another extension of cable in the signal path because your Blu-ray player is
And you
usually
can use it
in
as
the
a CD player, not that anyone has CDs. Start with 3 sources. Let me title that, 3 sources. So these would be in the equipment rack, as is demonstrated by the rectangle there.
I'd say the Blu-ray player probably wouldn't be.
What I'll do is I'll put a little cloud around it to say that that could potentially be in a different room. We have all the multiple sources going into an audio matrix right in the middle. Say we've got a couple of local amplifiers and we've got an external amplifier and maybe even some active speakers dotted around the house. So we can have one output going to an amplifier, another one to another amplifier, one to another external amplifier, and one directly to some speakers wired up like that. From here we can go to some more speakers, and from here we can go to some more speakers. So that's kind of what I think you were trying to say, where you can have multiple inputs, multiple outputs, yeah?
Yeah.
And then
So any one of those sources can be distributed over any number of outputs, any number of speakers.
So for instance, I've just added some labels there to show that the speakers can be like a bedroom and a garden and a cinema. And basically what the audio matrix allows you to do is have any of those sources play to any of those outputs, or have one of them play to all of them. Options are endless. Well, I say it's endless, it depends on how many inputs and outputs you have. But that's the basics of a distributed audio system.
Yeah. If we've got an active speaker somewhere and it's over a fair distance, we might have to balance that cable. That's another topic for another day. Where else does audio come into our job?
Well, there's different types of ways it can be delivered. So there are in-ceiling speakers, which are common for whole house audio system. On-wall speakers for cinemas, home cinemas.
In-wall speakers?
In-wall speakers for home cinemas. Then floor-standing speakers, like I said, for dedicated listening rooms. Sound bars.
Sound bars, we haven't talked about sound
Yeah,
bars.
the variety of sound bars are almost limitless.
You can get custom sound bars that are made specifically to the width of the TV that you have. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And we've installed loads of these and they look amazing.
Yeah, doesn't detract from the aesthetics of having a TV on the wall at all, because it just looks like one solid unit TV with the sound bar underneath, matching the width exactly, and it looks better than, dare I say it, some DIY installations might have, say, a 65-inch TV and then a 40-inch wide sound bar that looks a little lost compared to the size of the TV.
60-inch TV.
A 65-inch TV has a width of about 57 inches.
Oh, yeah.
So 40-inch soundbar is going to look lost.
Where else does audio come into it? Audio. Dolby Atmos. So Dolby Atmos is
Awesome.
an audio standard where
It's the 3D spatialization of audio.
so we had height speakers. You can have a few pairs in the ceiling, and then when you watch a film, you have a helicopter flying over your head. It sounds like the helicopter's flying over your head. It's basically adding that dimension of.
I think the best demo for Atmos are the weather demos, where you get the thunder and lightning above you, and then the rain literally feels like, or sounds like it's coming from the top. An installation I saw was a 9.4.4 Atmos system. That's a lot of speakers. To just describe how many speakers there is, 9.4.4 means there are 17 speakers in total.
What about subs?
4 subwoofers.
4 subs?
Yeah, 4 subwoofers.
4?
Crazy. So there are 3 speakers at the front, your left, centre, right, which is where the majority of the action and the dialogue comes from. Then there are front surrounds, 2 speakers left and right, which kind of, they don't do much in the grand scheme of things, but when you've got full surround sound going, they do add to the final picture. Then you've got rear side surrounds, sort of for stuff happening just behind you, but at the sides. And then you've got the very rear surrounds, 2 more speakers for stuff that are happening behind you. Then you've got 2 height speakers, 2 front speakers up in the ceiling, and then 2 rear height speakers. And then you've got 4 subwoofers dotted around the room in the corners. And it creates a total immersion of audio. And that's awesome Atmos.
Okay, so we've talked about having a central hub where all of our audio processing and switching and distribution goes before it gets out.
I don't want to get into it too much right now, do we?
No, I'm just teeing it up. But later in this series, we're going to talk more about video and control. Coming up next in the next video, we want to talk about how the signals get from the central hub out into the rooms. See how you talk.
So yeah, catch up in the next video where we will be taking the next letter in the alphabet, B, which is for
Balun. In the next video, we're going to talk about a specialist way to get audio, video signals from a central hub out to the rooms over long distance.
You can do that?